So the new Mark 8.5 Fiesta ST, let's order it, let's discuss it, let's go through it on the configurator, and hopefully this will help you out in your sort of buying process. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned and let's go through this all. So yes, ST2, ST3, that's the kind of cars, that's the kind of models that you can get in the new Mark 8.5 Facelift ST range, including this mean green car that you can see here. It looks absolutely stunning. I love the colour. And actually a subscriber has reached out to me, and I hopefully in a couple of weeks will get to drive a mean green Fiesta ST to share it with you on the channel, just to share my thoughts and see it in person. So do subscribe if you want to see future content like that, and like the video. It just really helps me produce more content basically. But yeah, let's look at this one. I mean, it always looks better in real pictures rather than seeing the images from Ford. Obviously on their website it's just generic photos. Oh, it looks so good. It looks really good. This is ST3 spec, for example. Yeah, mean green. I'm a real fan of that car. But let's go through anyway, and let's discuss the ST2 and the ST3 and the differences. ST2 starts from £22,930, ST3 £25,740, so a bit of a premium. And for that premium you essentially get 18-inch wheels instead of 17-inch wheels. You get matrix LED lights as standard, as opposed to just the normal LED sort of lights. I believe as well you actually get like the performance pack as well, which gives you a quaife limited slip diff, which is quite cool on the ST3. All of those would have been an option on the ST2. It just has an open diff on the car. But the ST2 is still well spec'd as well. It just misses out on those few little touches, and you can't actually spec the 18-inch wheels on the ST2. So you're sort of pinned into what you're getting there. But let's go to the ST3, as for me personally that's probably the one that I would recommend going for. I've got nothing against the ST2. I think it's a great car, and I think the savings are really good, and ultimately it's about how the car drives, which is important. But let's go through the ST3 and let's talk about it. 1.5 EcoBoost, 200 PS. The facelift actually gives you about 20 pounds-foot more torque, so that's sort of like an advantage over the previous model, the Mark 8. So that's quite cool, as well as some of the things that I've discussed before in the past, with sort of like the front grille, which you can see here. 3-door or 5-door, I've only seen a few in sort of like 3-door. Obviously this car here is a 5-door car, so that's what it would look like, the one in mean green, and with the 18-inch wheels as well, and the grille being the main sort of change, that front end, which I really like. I love the front sort of like, is it like a front splitter? I suppose it is really, which does make a big difference. 5-door, 3-door, I mean, I love sort of like a 3-door hatch. I think they're hard to come by these days, so let's go for the 3-door. Into the colour, that mean green paint would cost you £775. I've also seen sort of like boundless blue, as I showed in a previous ST video. That looks really cool. That's £675. I mean, those are the two sort of real standout colours. You can get them in sort of like grey, and also some flat colours as well. Race red is the free option, and actually it's one of the other ones that actually stands out a bit more, particularly on a nice little hot hatch. I think it blends well with sort of like the certain like the red brake calipers and like the ST badge actually. So race red isn't out the question for me. That's a good colour to go for, particularly if you want a free option. So that's quite cool. But just for this case, let's do it in mean green, because yeah, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So as you can see here, the seats are slightly different as well. They're sort of Ford performance seats as opposed to the Recaros, which has changed. And the steering wheel's actually changed as well. You get a few more buttons as shown, and it's actually more like the Focus ST steering wheel. Options you can get the spare wheel, you can get B&O sound system, you can get a panoramic roof, and you can get the winter pack. I think for a hot hatch, I'm not so sure a panoramic roof is the way to go. Apologies, by the way, if you can hear any wind in the background. We're currently experiencing a storm in the UK, so that's, yeah, just what's happening. And on that, actually, I've seen some panoramic roofs actually being smashed from tiles from the buildings kind of coming down on it. But yeah, £1,000, it's a lot of money to spend on. But yeah, obviously it would add more light into the cabin and bits like that. Winter pack, pretty kind of important in the UK, if you kind of went for that. Yeah, if we did add it, you get the heated seats. Ford heated seats tend to be pretty good, to be honest. Sound system, I mean, I think that little raspy 1.5 engine is probably better to listen to personally. But let's go, and that is literally pretty much it. There is a reason why there's not too many options, and that is generally the chip supply shortage. It's just causing, you know, for every chip, for every different option, it needs an extra chip. There's, you know, thousands of these processing chips in every car. And basically these delays and caused by the pandemic means there's a shortage in cars. But actually, from the people I've spoken to getting Fiesta STs, they're actually getting them quite soon, as opposed to potentially other cars as well, where the waiting list is sort of 6, 7, 8 months, at sort of like a minimum. So that's quite interesting. I imagine it's mostly because the Fiesta is a little bit easier to build, and they know kind of what they're doing. Wow, that storm is really picking up. But that's kind of literally it in terms of ST freestyle. Let's go back to the actual, the nice picture that you get here. Boot's quite cool. There's loads of little bits that are great about this car. 0 to 60 is, you're sort of looking around sort of like the 6.5 to 7 second sort of mark. But it's very torquey. I owned a Mark 7.5, it had the 1.6 EcoBoost, and it was a great fun, really, really fun car, but don't get me wrong, it could have used a little bit more punch. This car definitely has the punch. It just weighs sort of like 1.1 tons, so it's not a heavy car. I mean, it looks really nice under the lights. Really, really like it. But I'm really, well, fingers crossed everything goes ahead. I can drive the mean green car, and I can show you it, for real in kind of like the UK in a couple of weeks, and and tell you what it's like to drive. And certainly to see that colour in person will be absolutely fantastic. I think it's a great car. I think it's a well worth little facelift actually. A lot of manufacturers will do sort of like small bits, but Ford have done quite well. They've changed the design of the wheels a little bit, and obviously added some more paint options, which is nice. Something where I'm passionate about, like the Mark 8.5, you can only get 3 paint options, whereas Ford have kind of given you quite a lot, which is nice. And just a few little touches to make it better. And particularly that front end is the biggest thing for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I think it really makes sort of like that aggressive stance, and it's really, really good on that side. And to see how things are going to be different with sort of like the new steering wheel and with the new seats that are sort of in place as well, as you can see here, is quite a big thing. Like the video, it really does help me produce more content, and subscribe if you want to see me test drive this car in the future. And if you do have a car you want to feature on the channel, just drop me a DM on Instagram or an email. All of the information in the description. Like the video.